Lori Cloud with Keller Williams Realty in Nashville. And this is your update on the market. And I know I've talked to a lot of folks who have been very concerned about what is this doing to their home values. And hopefully the numbers I'm going to share is going to be able to kind of calm your fears, because real estate right now is by no means paused, put on hold, dead, all these things I'm hearing from people. I literally had to go out to a house today and meet with a contractor to be able to, for a house that's under contract that's going to have some major renovations. So we are continuing to move forward. We're going to be closing in like 3 weeks. And so here are the numbers just to kind of give you some context. So in 2020, our first quarter, we were blowing the numbers away from even last year. We were up over 9% for first quarter sales. And our March prices had actually increased 8% from what they were March 2019. So again, if you've been waiting and hoping things were going to kind of come down, the prices really have not come down. The average price sort of in the greater Nashville area, this is not reflective of what you would pay in the super urban core, but it's $330,000 for a single family home, and it's $240,000 and some change for a condo. And our days on market, they before had been tracking around 32, 35, so they did go up in March slightly to 37, because remember, it's around about mid-March where we were ordered to stay at home. And when we looked at the showings stats from Showing Time, which is how most people book their appointment to go see a house, it was definitely like, yeah. And then a slight correction and then went back down again. So I haven't seen it today, but it was still, clearly way below what is normal. And people are definitely, unless they have to buy, they are putting that on pause. And that's understandable. So right now, we have been in a seller's market for years, and we are still only have a 2.4 months inventory. And again, to get to equal where buyers and sellers are at least in an even playing field, we need a 6-month inventory. So we are still far, far away from things shifting to a buyer's market. So let's talk specifically about March. So the closings in March were up about almost 3.5% from what they were last March. So even with a much slower back 2 weeks of March, we still were doing better than even last March. And really where we saw this go up was primarily in homes, condos, and then lots for sale pretty much remained even with where it was last year. The good news is, because April is when we really think that what's happening right now with the coronavirus is really going to be telling about what it's doing to real estate. But right now, the good sign is that we still have over 3,000 deals pending that would be ideally closing in April or early May. So we had about 3,300 closings in March, and we have 3,100 pending for April. So we're almost on track with March. So that is phenomenal. So really it may be more that we find that May is actually when we see what happens. But our inventory is really, that's where we saw some dramatic shifts. We did see a lot of folks who were not that serious about selling their house, pull their house from the market, or put it up for 2 weeks and say, hey, if it doesn't sell in 2 weeks, I'm withdrawing it, because it's fairly unusual to pull your house after just 2 weeks of being on the market. And I saw a lot of that. And it was generally at a higher price point and for an older home. So what I do think that's, again, encouraging is that even when I looked at how much inventory has come on the market, brand new listing from April 1st to today. So today is April 9th that I'm recording this. We've had 376 new properties come on the market just here in Davidson County. Now the average price of these is around $360, so a little bit higher than the average, but yet we're still in the threes, and that is really where we're seeing most of the deals go down. We have a lot of first-time buyers that have come back into the market, or we're just starting to look, and so they are making sure that they are getting their home under contract, and that's where we're seeing most of action. Because in that same time period where 376 came on, 184 found their buyer. And most of those went under contract, being listed only 1 or 2 days. So when something is great, it is still getting snatched up very quickly in that price point. Now, of course, the price points that are taking a little bit of a hit is, of course, luxury, and then also things that are more north of $500,000. They're still selling, but it's just taking longer for them to sell. So hopefully that gives you some good insight into the fact that we still have a lot of closings coming in April, and really we are hoping that by the end of May that this will be behind us, and that June we're kind of back into still being cautious. I think you're still going to have a lot of virtual showings, and you still have a lot of please wear gloves and masks and all that. We don't want to go backwards with the success we've had in containing this. So I do think that those kind of practices may be here to stay for the rest of the year. So if you would like to do a virtual consult about, well, how much would your home possibly sell for right now, since we are not seeing any trend that people are deeply discounting their homes in a panic sale at all, let me know. I would love to be able to do that. We can do a virtual tour of your home, and you can play HGTV host and show me everything about your place. So give me a call, and I'll be happy to help. Be well.